All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Jonavin Webb. Jonavin, how we doing, my man?
Good. How about yourself, man?
Doing good, doing good. So, Jonavin, man, it's been a little bit since you've been out of the cage and everything. So, talk to us a little bit more about kind of what you've been up to, man.
Yeah, man. Number one, I have my family. Got three little kids and my wife. So that always keeps me busy. And then, now I coach a bunch of fighters at my gym, a bunch of jiu-jitsu athletes. And then as well as I run Fury Grappling on Fight Pass, which is a grappling show that we do mostly here in Philadelphia.
Nice, nice. Now, talk to us a little bit more about what you kind of do with that Fury Grappling, kind of how you can get more involved with it.
Yeah, Fury Grappling. I fought for Cage Fury before I was in the UFC, and then when I got out of the UFC, I went back to Cage Fury. Rob Haydack, who's the owner, has been one of my good friends since I started my pro career. And we were talking at a lunch one day, and he's like, "Man, I think we really need to step into the grappling world." And I was like, "Man, I've been wanting to do that. Grappling's my background, and I would love to be able to give back to some of the upcoming jiu-jitsu athletes." And so we put it together. We did it was supposed to be a test show. Wasn't supposed to be on any platform or anything. And then as we kind of announced it, Fight Pass reached out and a couple of the other streaming services. And we just ended up picking Fight Pass. We thought it was a good fit because we did want a lot of, it is grappling, but we do put a lot of MMA athletes on the cards. So it just made a little bit more sense for us to go that route. And, it's been a success. We've had 10 shows now, and it's been a great time putting them on.
Yeah, no. And with that being said, I've actually been to, I believe, like 3 or 4 of these grappling events now. So they're a lot of fun. And with that being said, I was at the most recent one with like Eric Anders and stuff on the card. Talk to us a little bit more about the rule changes and how you kind of liked experimenting with the new rules.
Yeah, so, in jiu-jitsu, there's so many different rule sets, and it makes it kind of tough for, just the average Joe to come on and, see who's winning. Like, they don't know, an average Joe doesn't know, all these different moves and, how people score. So we just came up with a format that, we want it to be exciting more than anything. And it's sub only in regulation. You're not worried about, I got taken down, or, they passed my guard. Who cares, right? You're just going and trying to sub the guy. And then after that, probably the most exciting 2 minutes that I've ever been a part of in grappling. We put in a sudden death rule. So just like wrestling, if you go to, triple overtime, it's first person to score wins, period. So if I can take you down, I can sweep you. So if you want to pull guard, if wrestling's not your thing, you can always pull guard and get a sweep, or top guy can get a guard pass. It just makes them engage. If no one engages, then it goes to a draw, and no one wants a draw. And the other thing is we put in the overtime, there's stalling. So if you're backing up in the overtime, you're going to get hit with stalling, and then now you lose. So it forces the athletes to engage and put on exciting matches.
Nice. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely thought that new rule set definitely put on some more exciting matches. And with moving forward, do you think that's going to be the rule set for now on at the moment?
Yeah, it's going. I think it went really well. Obviously in person is always good, but we always want to see how things flow on Fight Pass and again on the streaming service and on our undercards are on OnlyFans. We like to see the feedback, and right now it seems like the UFC liked it, Fight Pass liked it, and we liked it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And how do you guys kind of go about finding these UFC athletes to kind of join the card as well too?
So I've been around the sport for a while, so I know a lot of guys from different gyms. Either I've trained with them or just have been around them at UFC fights and other events. So that's how we get a lot of the guys and girls. And then also, Arias Garcia, who's our matchmaker for Cage Fury, he knows all the managers in the game. So he can always make phone calls and some of the athletes that I don't know.
Right. No, that definitely makes sense. And talk to us a little bit more about your gym and kind of what it's like to kind of coach and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I've always liked coaching. When I first started jiu-jitsu, my original coach, Brian McPherson, he was also a state police officer and like a high up in the state police. So he would get these phone calls sometimes in the middle of a class, and he would just have to leave right away. And I got to start teaching like as a blue belt, and I just always enjoyed helping people. And one of my favorite things ever is like showing someone a move and then seeing them do it out in competition. And then, flash forward as I was fighting, a lot of people don't know, but, my old MMA coach just up and left at one point. And, I just started teaching classes that I was in. So I'm coaching, Paul Felder, Sean Brady, all these guys in practices that I'm trying to participate in because I have a fight the same day or the same month or whatever. And, I did that for a long time. And then, eventually, I was like, man, I'm just going to open my own gym, in New Jersey and, see how it goes. And it just kind of took off. And again, I've been very fortunate. We have a lot of, students there. We have people who never are going to fight a day in their life that just do it just for fun. And then I have, some very, very high level competitors in the room almost every single day.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And speaking of high level competitors, down in UFC 288, I was like at like a bar or something. I ran into you and Joe Pyfer. You guys are out to eat, and so was I. And
Yep.
With that being said, when you guys are out to eat, I mean, what's some of your favorite memories when it comes to just like hanging out with Joe Pyfer and just stuff like that?
I mean, so after his Contender Series show or win, I'm sorry, UFC debut. So after
Yeah.
he won the Contender Series, we're at UFC debut, and our flights got pushed back. So we were like, Joe's like a big car guy. He loves fast cars, fast bikes, and then we hit up this company called Royalty Exotics, and they're like, hey, come down, like, we'll take care of you guys. And so we end up going there, and the owner was there, and Joe starts talking about cars, and I don't know anything about cars. They're saying all these different terms I never even heard of, and I'm just sitting there like, they sound like they're speaking a whole nother language, right?
Right.
And the guy ended up taking like a liking to Joe and vice versa, and so now we got like a nice working relationship with them. Every time we go to Vegas, they're giving us Lamborghinis and Porsches and Ferraris the last time. So we'll go take these cars out in Vegas, and we're having a good time. Can't say how fast we're driving them, but it's always a good time when we're out there, and I'm sure it's going to be good in a couple of weeks when we go back out. For the
That's awesome. No, that's definitely gonna be sweet, and I'm looking forward to watching that. That was actually what I was going to ask you was, what was maybe some of your favorite cars that he was in? So, so getting back into that, what's maybe one of your favorite cars?
Like again, I went from never being a car guy. I always been, man, cars are cool. I like trucks. I'm more of a Raptor or whatever, a TRX kind of guy. But we get in those cars, and I've been in Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches, and McLarens. My favorite, if I had the money and I was just gonna be driving them every day, and that's my car. I love the Porsche GT3.
Okay.
RS.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
it's kind of like people are like, well, you're not going to pick the Lamborghini or the Ferrari, but there's just something about that Porsche. Like, I just would love to be in that car every day. Like, I can see myself just driving it everywhere.
Fair enough. No, that's awesome, man. That's definitely a sick car. And another thing is getting back into some of the guys that don't like fighting stuff. I was curious because Joe Pyfer has posted pictures with him in the gym. I didn't know if he was at your gym or not. But Hunter Kaka, he was someone I went to high school with. I was curious if he's ever trained at your gym.
Yeah, so he was just there on Monday. So him and Joe were there early before one of our grappling sessions, and he was just helping them with the wrestling. And
Yeah.
then he ended up staying and rolling, rolling with all the guys and with Joe, giving him a hard push. We're just trying to get Joe to be firing on all cylinders and ready for this fight. And he's definitely been helping Joe out a lot. He's a big body
Oh
and
yeah.
very, very technical. For being such a big guy, like the guy's wrestling technique is insane.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a beast. He's always somebody I always try to like be like, come on, man, I think you should fight because he definitely has such a solid wrestling base.
Yeah, well, I think he still has like 2 more years of college, I believe. So
Gotcha.
maybe we could talk him into it once he's done.
There you go. There you go. I like it. And getting back into fighting, man. I mean, talk to us a little bit more about your run in the UFC and kind of how you think the UFC has evolved since you were in it.
Yeah, I mean, so I came up, right in the time when MMA was like booming, right? So like, there was, you know, the pre-UFC where it was very like everyone's just good at one thing. Then, you go into the early or mid to or like 2010s to 15, like that's like you know everyone started really mixing up. You got wrestlers knocking out people. You got strikers that know how to wrestle, know how to grapple now. All these different things, and it was like cool seeing it. And I feel like the George St. Pierre's are the ones that like really put that on the map. Like, hey, why not just be good at everything? And I don't have to be the high school or college wrestler and be a dominant wrestler in a fight. And I feel like it's just the sport just keeps evolving. Now these kids are coming up. They're not a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy or a striker. They're a mixed martial artist, and they're good everywhere it goes. And seeing these young guys fighting, I'm like, God damn, I'm happy I'm not fighting them anymore. But I'm just a fan of the sport, and I just love seeing it grow, and I try to do my part in helping it grow. But I just still think we're in the early stages of this thing, and it's just going to continue to get bigger and better.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And what's maybe some of your favorite things that you like to teach?
Um, you know, I love doing stuff on the wall. So a lot of people will kickbox or box. They'll do wrestling practice. They'll do jiu-jitsu practice. All those like little skills. And the one thing that gets left out a lot of times is that in the middle, right? So like I'm standing, I need to figure out a way to get to the ground safely, and just shooting out in the open isn't always the best option. We see the you know Mazadov aspirin knee. That's not you don't want to just be shooting with all that distance. So I like getting people to the wall, backing them up, being able to secure a takedown, and then to ground a pound or to a submission. So I focus a lot of our time in trying to find our way in, and then trying to find our way down to the ground.
Very nice. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And when you're as well too, like when you're kind of going through drills and stuff, what are the vibes kind of like? What kind of music do you like to play in the gym?
Oh, we got all kind of stuff, but I would say 80s club music is number one. Yeah, we're always listening to that. I feel like if you can dance to it, you can fight to it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely agree with you.
So having that something with some rhythm, and I feel like it just helps. But we changed it up. I'm all over the place with music. Like people would never assume, but I'll be in my truck. I'll have country music on most of the time, or and then I'll switch right into rap, '90s hip hop, or whatever. Like I'll mix it up, and I do the same thing in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. No, that's definitely awesome. And talk to us a little bit more about maybe like a sparring day. You mentioned you had some sparring going on in the background. Talk to us more about what that's kind of like.
Yeah, the guys are sparring as we speak. I think they just finished their last round. Just heard the bell go off, but I snuck into the office really quick. But yeah, I mean, so again, we got some young guns coming up, and then obviously we have the Sean Brady's, the Joe Pyfers, Pat Sabatini's, Andre Petrosky's, Jeremiah Wells, all these like top guys. You know, these young guys, they're striving to be these top guys, and the top guys are striving to stay at the top and to get even better. So it's like you see it in the gym. You know, these guys are just pushing each other. You know, just trying to get to their goals, and that's all we care about as coaches. You know, and it's just not myself. You know, I have my gym in right across the bridge in Jersey, and then John Marquez has his gym here in Philadelphia, where I am at the moment. And we really just kind of blended our teams together, and we try to just push them the best that we can. You know, wherever it is, John really takes over on a lot of the striking stuff, and then I'll take over on a lot of the grappling stuff. But again, our main thing, our main focus is having these guys help each other. It's I know it's an individual sport when you go into the actual cage, but everything before that you need a team for. You can't get better on your own. So, you know, every day our focus is just telling these guys, hey, help your partners. They're going to help you. I feel like that's where a lot of our success has been is having that tight knit team, not just like one of these super gyms where you just show up and fight anybody in the gym. You know, it's all about teamwork here.
Yeah. Now, mentioning a little bit more about teamwork, you mentioned you're collaborating a little bit more with like Marquez's gym and then your gym. Talk to us a little bit more about that collaboration, because I'm always confused about like the Philly fighters, about how they're always like bouncing back and forth. Like, kind of how did that get about, and you know, why do they kind of collab together?
Yeah, I mean, so not to, you know, I'm not gonna shit on people on here, but you know, the Philly team's always been a little just different. But you know, we all were a part of one big team before, and then again, person just decided to leave, and then we kind of had to step up and you know, start, you know, doing our own thing and not just, you know, trying to do it half-assed. Like, we want an actual team that has coaches there showing up to every practice and you know, having everyone accountable. Like, not, you know, you show up late, you're doing something for showing up late, or you're just not training. You don't bring your right gear, you're not training. Like, we had to put in a lot of rules, because before it was just a free for all. You know, you show up when you show up, you spar, and then it was over. Like, that's just not the culture that we want in here anymore. So, you know, we really have been focusing, and it's not. And again, me and John are kind of like the, you know, the faces of it now. But like, there's way more than us. We have so many more coaches and other athletes that have stepped up and just really helped push the team. Again, in everything: grappling, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing. You know, we have guys in here just showing up and putting in the work, and that's all we care about. The winning and all that is great. We love it. Being in the UFC, cornering these big UFC fights, we love it. But at the end of the day, we just want the best martial arts that we can get, period. And that's everybody in the gym, not just the Sean Brady's and the Joe Pyfers. Like, we want everyone to reach their potential.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's important. And you know, another thing too is I'm a Taekwondo instructor myself. I've been teaching for 6 years, training for 19 years, and I'm only 24 years old. So martial arts is my life. I just kind of love what I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, with that being said, with all the different guys I have at my gym, what advice do you give to them to keep on coming into the gym and to keep on getting better and better every day?
Embrace the grind. You know, the fighting can suck. You know, losing sucks. You know, it hurts our ego a lot in the gym, in competition. But again, embrace it and just know that it's going to be worth it in years, right? Jiu-jitsu and MMA have changed my life. Like, it's insane what it's done for me. And I just always try to tell everyone, like, you know, there's times where I thought I was at my peak, and then, you know, I come down, and then, you know, I get hit with reality, and then I got to work my way back up. And my main thing is that I just don't quit. You know, you just got to stick with it, and it pays off, man. I have a very successful gym. I have a loving family. I have a lot of good people around me, and I think it all came from MMA. So, you know, I just I want that for everyone. And again, just embrace that it is going to suck sometimes. You're going to have aches and pains mentally. You're going to want to quit sometimes, but just show up, and I guarantee it'll pay off for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a solid message. And one thing I wanted to ask you about as well too, you can say no, won't hurt my feelings. With me being at 3 events now and dabbling a little bit in taekwondo. I am only a white belt, but I love the atmosphere, man. I would absolutely love it one day to maybe hop on one of the CFFC grappling undercards if that's a potential thing you could maybe hook it up with one day.
Yeah, for sure. If it makes sense, we'll make it work.
Let's go. Let's go. No, like I said, I'm definitely serious about that. Not just saying that for the interview. So I definitely think it'd be a lot of fun. I think the atmosphere is fun. The cards are
we can
awesome.
get you another. We can get you another interviewer or something.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna need another bum.
Podcaster versus podcaster or something like that.
There you go.
We had we had the one guy on. I forget.
Ben Davis. Right?
Ben Davis. It was wild. Dude. Yeah.
I don't want to get hurt like that.
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
So people don't know that the president of Cage Fury, his name's Brad Bolton.
Yeah.
The kid was really good at jiu-jitsu before he started, promoted fights and stuff.
Yeah.
He was actually one of my teammates. So when I came up, I was young and he was even younger than me, and he would just be in the gym, and the kid just got so good. He doesn't even train often anymore. I think before that match, he trained one time in like 2 years or something. But he's mean. He can get in there and he'll rip some submissions. So, again, he took a last minute match. Alex Caceres got hurt on one of our cards, and then we needed someone to fill in against Clay Guida day of, a couple of hours before the event. And, Brad stepped up and just went in out of shape again, had trained one time in 2 years, and just went in and was going for the win, but it's hard. You got Clay Guida, who's a cardio king, just coming at you, and you haven't trained in 2 years. So, but he did a good job. And then Ben Davis was like talking shit online. And then, Brad had to go in there and hurt him a little.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. And like I said, I was at one of the events maybe like a couple years ago, and there's this one like little kid that came out. He's maybe like 8-10 years old. And he had like the Undertaker theme song. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I got to figure out one day how to maybe get myself on here.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Jonavin, man, it's been awesome talking to you, man. And with that being said, what's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm not in the spotlight anymore, and I don't want to be in the spotlight. But you're going to see big things from this team. We're going to just keep pushing this thing, and you're going to see our athletes, reaching the top. I really see, Sean goes out there and puts a statement on with Gilbert. I know that's just got announced, so now we can say it. But he goes puts on a show, and I really think we can avenge his only loss. I want Bilal to get this win, so we can come back and we should be right there, fighting for a title within the year. And then all these other guys, again, we're going to be, really stamping our name as a premier Northeast fight team.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we're looking forward to Sean Brady's return. And what's kind of next for these Philly fighters? Because like you name dropped a couple of those guys. We definitely have a lot of guys coming up on the scene, and we're looking forward to what's next. And hopefully a UFC Philly card soon as well too, man.
Yeah, I hope so, man. We got not even just our team, but between, the Algio and all the rest of the guys that fight local to this area, there's no reason why we can't have a Philly card. I mean, I know there'll be a bunch of fights in the crowd, but it'll be a good time.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Jonavin, it's been awesome talking to you, man. Thank you so much. And like I said, I was serious about that grappling match. I will message you afterwards about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go. All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.